Howdy, Red Faction. So, today, we're live over on Purple, so Purple Faction, if you want to say hello. I know there's probably some of you lurking, and I appreciate that. Um, but we got the Heresy Crucible updates. This is something that Bungie's been talking about as we get closer to the Heresy, and I wasn't expecting it to be released so early. And there's a couple things. First off, they start off with a Trials rework. So, as we normally do, I got drink ready. I got something to kind of keep my other hand uh, focused because I tend to do, and I dropped it. Great start. Okay, hold on. Oh, good. Oh, come on. There we go. I got it. So, Heresy Crucible updates. Hi, everyone. It's the Crucible Strike team here, and we have a lot to get into before Heresy releases. If you don't care about the details and just want high level stuff, check the list below. If you really want to dive into how and why these changes we are making, read on. So, for the too long didn't read, don't want to, Trials of Osiris rework for Heresy. Move Trials away from a flawless base system to get 7 wins on a card system that rewards win streaks with multiple tiers and exclusive aesthetic rewards for higher win streaks. Provide a selectable alternative experience that is closer to Iron Banner in terms of the reward structure and matchmaking to get more players into the Trials ecosystem. Adding new rewards including Armor Set, Ghost, Ship, Sparrow, and Emblem, and to simplify the engagement and matchmaking systems. Skill and player score stat competitive point system rework. We want skill to be more transparent and easy to understand so players get a better feeling of where they sit or how they perform relative to the other players in their game. Competitive points gained should feel like they make sense and you give more agency for climbing the rank ladder. Playlist reorganization. Using what we learned from last year, consolidate and solidify our playlist into options that better represent the experiences Destiny PvP can offer, without splitting the population into too many separate slices. Introduce Iron Banner Quick Play, which offers a more relaxed variant of Iron Banner, using our open skill matchmaking to provide minimum stratification and focus on the less serious game modes. Ability Sandbox updates. We aren't going to spend too much time discussing the ability tuning, as much of it is self-explanatory, and we have a lot to discuss in terms of the other 3 items. General baseline Crucible ability cooldown increased from 15 to 20, and supers go up from 20 to 25. Prismatic only. Unpowered knockout melees will no longer spawn diamond lances on kills against players. Active ability refund on prismatic decreased by 20% in the Crucible. This only affects refunds over things like Gambler's Dodge, Shiver Strike, and Armor mods, but generally excludes exotic effects. Add a 10% cooldown penalty to supers, so that there is more of a trade-off for picking these subclasses in modes where super timing can be vitally important, like Trials or competitive. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Trials of Osiris has several problems, and we're looking to solve with this rework. Primarily, Trials is perceived as simply but not fun or rewarding for the average to below average players. In terms of rewards, there's been a lack of the new aesthetic awards, especially motivational ones for high skill players, and our weapon rewards have not been consistently been best in class. The game itself is not always fun to play at a high stress level. While we have made strides to address this with the 1.13 weapon tuning and the 8.2 ability tuning mentioned above, we're also making some minor changes to the Dominion game mode to improve the experience. Finally, we want to solve the issue where fireteam-based matchmaking can make it too difficult to play with friends, but we need to do this in a way that does not sacrifice the enjoyment of our solo players, who make up most of the population. The solution we landed on is needing a bit extra time in the oven, but is currently scheduled to be released alongside Heresy Act 2. Trials of Osiris rework for Heresy. To solve the problems for the Heresy's first Trials launch on February 14th, we have improved the reward story by stepping back from requiring flawless to earn the lion's share reward. Instead, we'll be focusing on rewarding all players while giving exclusive aesthetic rewards to those who demonstrate the highest skill. Simplify how players engage with Trials. And streamline the matchmaking states to make it more obvious of how you are being matched with opponents. Improve the game mode rules to engage focusing on fighting first, zone control second, while still directing players to the points of conflict around the map and encouraging aggressive play over passively. At the core of this rework is one mantra. We want to build a game mode that more people can enjoy with rewards on par with endgame PvE activities. Experiences. We're moving to offer a handful of different experiences within Trials, so players can choose in which way they want to participate. To help simplify the process, we reduce the number of passages available to players from Sim 14 to 2, 1 for the initial experience. I feel like they left something out. Lighthouse Passage. Let's talk about the Lighthouse Passage, which grants access to the Fable simulation on Mercury. This experience is what it's like for players currently, what they get for playing on a Mercy, Ferocity, or Persistence card. Our goal is to move away from the Flawless or Bust based system and just get 7 wins on a card, plus longest win streak. Lighthouse for everyone, but better rewards for longer win streaks. Okay. All you need is to win 7 games on Lighthouse Passage, and you earn entrance to the Lighthouse, regardless of how many losses are on the card. The Lighthouse chest rewards are now broken up into 2 types. Repeatable awards that you can earn every time you complete a Lighthouse Passage and open the chest. Weekly win streak rewards from the 1 to 7 wins in a row, which can be earned once per week and must be true 7 win streaks. There are no mercies here. Note, earning a higher tier weekly win streak will grant you all lower tier weekly reward streaks that have not yet been claimed. Repeatable Lighthouse chest rewards. Earned on every Lighthouse visit until a Flawless Passage is earned. 1 to 2 Enhancement Prisms, 1 Base Trials Weapon, Trials Armor, 3 Osirian Ciphers, Ascendant Shard chance of about 45%. Adept Trials Weapon chances. You will have 2 chances to earn Adept Trials weapons with each Lighthouse chest. The chances for a drop are dependent on your highest weekly win streak and the number of wins completed as a full fire team. These chances are not additive, they are separate, meaning if you win 7 games as a trio and get a 3 win streak, you'll get 2 adepts from the Lighthouse chest. If you win 1 game as a trio and get a 1 win streak, you'll have a 15% chance and 30% chance for an adept, so you could still get 2 adepts. Weekly win streak. This chance is based on the longest win streak you have earned this week, not the longest win streak on your current passage. 1 win streak, 30%, 2 win streak, 60, 3 win or more, 100%. Wins as a trio. This is a chance based on how many of your wins on the way to the Lighthouse done as a full fire team. If all 7 wins were done as a full fire team, you are guaranteed at least 1 adept regardless of your longest win streak. So for a solo player, as long as you go on a win streak and then you get to the Lighthouse, you have a chance of getting the adept weapon. If you are stacking, so mind you, if you're playing with some of the content creators that, want to group up and do this, boom. Here you go. Weekly win streak rewards. Reward packages for each win streak milestone can be claimed once per week and are addition to the additional repeatable chest rewards. Note, earning a higher weekly win streak will also grant you all the lower weekly win streak towards that have not been claimed. So, go to the Lighthouse, you get 1 win. You go to the Lighthouse and you have like a 1 win streak, so you lose, then you win. You get 3 to 5 enhancement cores, 1 enhancement prism, 1 ascendant shard, 1 adept mod, a ghost shell, 50% progress points. This system will be explained in the rewards section below. Hardened by trial emblem, first time only if not already earned. 2 win streak, you get 2 Osirian Ciphers on top of all these. 3-win streak, you get an additional one in Trials armor. Okay, 4-win streak, you get another 2, and then 5 enhancement cores. You have a 5-win streak, you get the yellow Trials glow. So they're adding glows now. A cipher, a base Trials weapon, a Trials memento, Trials vehicle, ghost shell, Trials shader, knockout list once per week. Flawless emblem for first time, so light for the lost, flawless Empyrean, sundown ordeal. If you have a 6-1, you get the white Trials glow, 2 enhancement prisms, and the 7-win streak. So if you go flawless, you gain the red Trials glow, you gain the adept weapon, you get the base weapon, unlocks new flawless passage, and enables a new stat tracker for flawless win streak. The completed lighthouse passage. Okay. After you've earned access to the lighthouse, your passage will change to a completed lighthouse passage. Utilizes weekly performance-based matchmaking if everyone in your fire team has completed a lighthouse on a completed lighthouse flawless or trials passage. We'll be experimenting with using the weekly performance to allow us to match mixed skill fire teams that exclusively play together based on their cumulative performance for the weekend instead of individual skills. Utilize open skill if anyone in your fire team is on a lighthouse passage. Okay, so if someone has a completed lighthouse, flawless or regular, so like you go in like a 3-win streak, you group up with someone, or you're on a 2-win streak, it's going to match you with people that are on 2-win streaks. You have a 6, people on 6, 7, whatever, flawless or otherwise. If anyone on your fire team utilizes open skill, if anyone is on it, so even if you have a flawless, if anyone on your fire team is just on the regular lighthouse passage, it will be open skill. This experience is like what players currently get when they are playing on a flawed card after having visited the lighthouse. Players who continue to play on a completed lighthouse passage will get extra rewards on wins based on their highest weekly win streak described below. Additional awards for longer win streaks. As mentioned, players who have gone to the lighthouse and continue to play on the completed lighthouse passage will get additional awards for their highest weekly win streak. Higher win streaks can increase your drop chances compared to lower ones, or allow chances to gain additional exclusive rewards. We're also experimenting with a mini jackpot reward for materials, which are a small additional to earn double or triple rewards. Here's a look at your chances for additional rewards increase with your win streak. So if you went flawless, so you had a 1 win streak, and you play again, you have a 40% chance to get an enhancement prism. That's 40 for just 1. 2, there's a 3.5, or there's a 0.5 for 3. But then you continue on your win streak. So it can go up. Ascendant shards at 15, they can go up to a 2.75 and gain those. The adept weapon comes at a 4 win streak and continues on that until you have a flawless passage. Rewards on win. Emblem progress, 3 points. Okay. Someone will probably explain that better. I have no bloody idea. The flawless passage. Players who've earned all 7 weekly win streak rewards will be awarded a flawless passage, and all the repeatable lighthouse chest rewards will be folded into their own post-win drop chances, alongside higher chances to earn cosmetics and the new Trials emblem. This will also allow players to progress the flawless win streak stat tracker, which tracks the longest win streak earned while playing on a flawless passage. This experience is comparable to most players resetting their cards and going for additional flawless runs, with a focus now on one long continuous win streak instead of multiple separate lighthouse runs. One wrinkle is that earning those big long win streaks may be slightly more challenging than it's been in the past. Uses the weekly performance matchmaking if everyone on your fire team has completed Lighthouse, Flawless, or a Trials passage. Because we can expect there to be very few players who earn this passage, it works on a hybrid system where it will only a short period of time looking for other similar players before reverting to open skill so that it does not increase matchmaking times or reduce connection quality. Utilizes open skill if anyone is on the Lighthouse passage. So even if someone went flawless, let's say you played with Grenader Jake. He went flawless. Then he does Trials helps. He has that flawless passage, and he keep going on these win streaks. And if he has anyone that's just on a regular Lighthouse passage, it will utilize open skill. That way, he's not being matched against crazy players. But if he plays solo, it's going to have this. Where it will go for performance, so it will matchmake you there, before reverting to open skill after a short period of time, which will probably be like a couple minutes. Earning Flawless Passage weekly will be the only thing that increases the Flawless Lighthouse Passage strat tracker. The previous tracker Flawless Tickets has been locked and will no longer increase, but can still be displayed on emblems. Now, for the other passage. Which they talked about. So, when they talk about the completed one, that's when you just go and complete it. If you did Flawless, you get this one. And this is the Trials passage that they have. The Trials of Osiris passage. We want to provide a separate place in Trials that is more like Iron Banner in terms of rewards and matchmaking to get additional players into the ecosystem. If you're asking why would you want to make any part of Trials more like Iron Banner averages more than 3 times the daily participation of Trials. In the last 48 months, Trials has had more than 20% of the daily participation only 18 times, which is actually the exact number of days that the Iron Banner has had less than 20% participation. In fact, the worst performing Iron Banner we had during that period still had the most identical participation to the best performing run of Trials over the same period. Compared to Iron Banner, players who are not able to consistently go flawless find Trials to be unapproachable due to the lack of rewards and how unfair many of the games feel when randomized matchmaking and lobby balancing. For a mode that needs a high population to thrive, this is problematic. Because many average or below average skill players do not participate in the current version of Trials at all due to the perception that flawless is impossible and the experience will be negative. This leads to a baseline skill creep on the average that makes Trials 10 to 15% harder than normal PvE and perpetuates the cycle. This experience builds off the practice pool, which despite the lower total population, has helped keep average and below average players' precipitation Trials over the last several months 20% higher than that similar low point before the 2021 rework. So the Trials of Osiris one will use weekly performance matchmaking if everyone on your fire team is in this. This passage allows players to take advantage of the improvements to the base reward structure of Trials, which will detail below: increased reputation, rewards for wins, losses, challenges, ghost shells, with matchmaking similar, fairer and lower stakes, and none of the stress of worrying about a loss negating progress. We still want to try to motivate to win, so the Trials passage will provide a healthy reputation bonus of 75 to a 50 per win, depending on your current rank with Saint 14. Playing on this passage will give you access to the following rewards. Wins grant base reputation Trials passage, a chance for an engram, chance for a base Trials weapon, a small amount of progress towards Trials Ghost Shell from the knockout list. Losses will grant reputation 10 times more than what is currently given to losses, and a chance for a Trials weapon. Additive extras: playing a full fire team win or loss, getting bonus rep, a chance for a base Trials, and an engram. Playing with clanmates will also give you bonus rep. You do challenges, rewards, pinnacles, and Trials pieces. Win 50 round, winning 7 games. Okay. Rewards. Now that we talked about how the Trials experience will be updated, let's go over specific rewards that Trials of Osiris will offer and talk about some changes to the way they are granted. Armor pieces, okay? Armor pieces will not be able to be earned from engrams until they have been unlocked via challenges or from the Lighthouse chest rewards. So this is so you have Cat Hunter, Back to Bird, Warlock. I like how this is called Drip of Osiris, and Anubis Titan. That's actually pretty cool. So then you got the new ship, the new Sparrow, which looks... They went really Egyptian themed with this one. Kind of like how that other one they have is. They went to a more certain one. So we have Bast, Horus, and Anubis. News cosmetic. Cosmetics are earned on the point system. Various actions will give you points, such as completing challenges, winning games, or opening the lighthouse chest. Your chance for getting a cosmetic from these actions increases exponentially as your total point increases. If you hit the upper limit of one of the pools, which is 1,000 points, you are guaranteed a cosmetic from that pool. Earning any cosmetic from the pool resets your points. Cosmetics are divided up into vehicles, ships, and sparrows, which are exclusive to players who can earn high win streaks, and ghost shells that all players can earn. But it builds faster if you go to the lighthouse and get higher win streaks. In Heresy, we'll be introducing a new ship and Sparrow, along with a new Ghost Shell. All existing in Trials of Osiris vehicles will be in one pool, and all Trials of Osiris Ghost Shells will be in the second. These are the knockout lists, meaning you cannot get duplicates from either pool, so if you play enough, you'll eventually earn them all. The new Trials Emblem Lighthouse Keeper will also be earned this way, exclusively for players who get an upper win streak. So this is what it looks like. Regular icon, what it looks in game, and a very longer one. New way. What? That's a sniper. To start the episode, we'll be bringing back the old favorite in Exalted Truth with some great new perks. We'll also be introducing a new sniper rifle, Keen Thistle, which is designed to give Macabre a one for its money in Crucible, and it has at least one wild perk for PvE, one wild perk combo for PvE too. Triple tapping 4 times may catch your eye, but after the recent sniper buffs, don't sleep on Discord Incandescent. So it's a solar sniper. Oh, and it has snapshot opening shot. And it's an aggressive frame, so that's a 72. It has the Trials, Crucible, and Hake one, so it's a Hake sniper. Exalted Truth is back. So if you want the Exalted Truth and you weren't able to get one, here you go. Slide Shot, Lone Wolf, stabilizing moving target, Zen moment, keep away Withering Gaze. Right column, Eye of the Storm, opening shot, precision instrument, Magnificent Howl. It's getting Magnificent Howl? Hey, yo. A new perk that they'll be introducing in Heresy, or for PvP. One for All in Repulsor Brace. We'll also be adding a third weapon into this group in later episodes as part of a late season refresh. The Inquisitor is coming back, and it has all of these. Along with this, we're also increasing the Osirian cap to 30 from 10. We also remove the requirement to earn the Adept weapon each week it is available. Now it only needs to be earned once and can be focused in subsequent weeks when it is the featured weapon. So I've already earned so let's see. I have an Adept Immortal. I have an Adept Shira's Wrath. I have an Adept Cardifact. I'm an adept. Um, Forgiveness. Right? Forgiveness, that's the name of that arc sidearm. Hold on, I gotta look. Gotta look. Dim load. Yeah, forgiveness. Okay. So with how this works now, um, if they ever bring back forgiveness, I've already earned it, so then I can focus it when it's available. Same with Shire, same with Immortal, same with Cartifact. Just have to earn it? Okay. The Pinnacle challenges remain unchanged in how they're completed, but now grant Trials armor in addition to the Pinnacle gear. So when you win 50 rounds, it's a Trials challenge. So basically, play 10 games. If you win all that, you get that. You get a Pinnacle gear drop, Trials armor, and a Ghost Shell, which gives you 40% progress points to getting one of the other cosmetics. Win 7 games, Pinnacle drop, and Trials armor. That's all that will give you. Reputation. We also increase the amount of reputation gained by losses by 10%, and add a new bonus that is earned by playing in a fire team with clanmates. So, a base win will give you 135 to 205 depending on your rank. If you play with your clan, you gain 100 to that, and trio completion will add an additional 25. So let's say, okay, you win a match. You get if you're in the higher rank. So it's like start of the season, you'll gain 135, but as you go up, it goes to 205. If you're with your clan, you win, you get 75, but if you lose, you get 50. So at least with even losses, you're gaining good rep. But if you're a 3-stack with your clan, you gain a 25. So extra 125 for losses, 125 for wins, 75 for losses, on top of the 60 to 155 that you get from this, which brings you to 130 at the higher tier, and 370. No, 330. So a base win at the higher parts of your Trials rep. Okay. And all that. Base rewards. So for a base win, you have a 50% chance of getting the base Trials weapon that's available that week. We add new things for wins and losses for existing Trials. Any players in any fire team okay. So a base win, you have a 50% chance of getting the weapon. And an engram for that Ghost Shell, 1 progress point. Okay. If you are a trio, you get an additional 50. So a trio win, you have about probably a 100% chance of getting it. And a Trials engram that goes up to about an 83% chance. And then the Ghost Shell, 1 progress point. A loss will just give you the base 33 for that, so it's about 83% chance, which is still a good chance to gain the weapon. Okay. Well, the sandbox changes outlined above and in the 8.1.5.3 appearance represent a bulk of our work towards making Trials gameplay more enjoyable experience. We're also making some changes to the game mode itself. We want to encourage players to engage in combat first, with the zone being utilized more as a focal point and to break stalemates, and less to win rounds quickly outright. So now the zone will spawn 40 seconds after the round begins instead of 30 seconds, and the zone takes about 20 seconds to capture, up from 15. Neutral special crates spawn at 30 seconds instead of 20 seconds. So it won't be this, kind of big stalemate. Fireteam based matchmaking. We could of course be remiss if we did not mention fireteam matchmaking. Before we explain the changes we are going to make in Heresy Act 2, we want to provide you with some background on why we simply cannot remove fireteam matchmaking from Trials. Statistically, fireteam matchmaking has kept solo players playing more frequently than the old freelance weekend system did. We are here to remove fireteam matchmaking and revert to freelance weekends. It would not increase the number of trios or improve their experience. It would simply decrease the number of solos playing most week. Below is an example of how the population split before fireteam matchmaking. Trios did not increase when freelance went away, but solo players decreased dramatically. Most solo players only played freelance weekends. On average, less than 20% of them stuck around on non-freelance weekends. Instead, starting in Act 2, we will allow duos to match trios right off the bat in both Trials and Competitive. This will continue to allow duos to play our 3v3 playlist without making it feel like an advantage that they can avoid trios. We have not enabled this in the past because, for the solo player who gets brought into the match to fill out the duos team, it always feels like a bad experience to see a trio on the other side. We also understand that filling out duo games with solo players often makes it feel like a lottery to see who gets the better team. To help this friction, we're setting it up so that any solo player that gets matched against a larger fire team, either Trials or Competitive, will be granted loss forgiveness for the match, on the condition they did not quit, go AFK, or intentionally throw the game. Doing any of those actions will result in a loss, potentially a matchmaking restriction depending on how severely or number of occurrences. We believe this change will affect encouraging more people to play as full fire teams, while also improving the experience for solo players who get matched in fire teams in these modes. Oh, okay, that was a lot. So basically, if you're a duo, you can still play it. You get matched against the 3-stack, or you match another 2-stack, and you just see who's the better player. If you are the solo, and you happen to lose, you are given loss forgiveness on the condition that you don't quit, don't go AFK, or you don't jump off the map. If you do any of that, it will still result in a loss and potentially a matchmaking restriction. So don't be that solo player. Or don't be the duo that has a person leave so the match attempts to end. Skill rework and player score stat. In Heresy, we have undertaken the task of updating our internal skill rating, adding new visual indicators players can see to measure performance. While our skill rating is accurate on a macro level, there's a very high chance that player 50 to 100 skill above another player is, in fact, the better player. There's room for improvement when comparing players who have very similar skills on a game-to-game basis, especially when reflecting performances in objective modes. The three main changes that we're making on the way is tracked. Make objectives on par with base kills for points. As it stands currently, objectives are either not tracked towards at skill at all, or are worth fractions of what kills are worth. This means players that slay out but ignore the objective or lose can end up with higher skill ratings than players with less kills who play the objective better and win. In practical terms, skill is defined from objective modes the same way it is defined for Slayer modes, which does not always lead to an accurate indication of what players contribute towards their team winning. Kills are still vitally important to any mode, but not all kills are created equal. As Shaq said, your opponent cannot capture zones if they are dead. We will be adding additional points to kills in service to the objective. For example, this could be something like kills while your team has zone advantage and control, kills on an enemy that attempting to capture an allied zone, or kills against a spark runner. Each mode that is not purely Slayer based will have a new objective defeat stats and the post game scoreboard, which details which kills are eligible for this multiplier. We're also removing the multiple farmable points like damage dealt, revives, and longest kill streak. These are not true indicators of skill performance and can muddy the water, but we can still display them as informational stats on the post-game scoreboard. Overall, these changes will make playing the objective more valuable for modes which have them, and allow players who get kills in service of the objective to have contributions recognized and reflected in their skill. Additionally, being able to more appropriately determine how much value a player can provide to their team will help improve the accuracy of our lobby balancing systems. What does this mean for all of you? In a very simplified explanation, our skill effectively works by taking the points you earned each game and comparing them on your historical average, and to those points earned by players in your lobby. As well as our historical averages, those skills will result as a run-through of the modified version of the Glicko algorithm that determines skill gains and losses and interpreted it into our skill values. On a scale from -1,000 to 1,000. Good God. To better reflect this, we are going to display a new stat called Player Score. On our post-game scoreboards, which is a direct reflection of how many points you have earned towards updating your skill rating in the game, on the pre-game banners in Control and Iron Control, the only two playlists where skill is utilized in matchmaking, will also determine your average player score to these modes alongside that of your teammates. While the average player score corresponds to our internal skill ratings, is not direct one-to-one, as we run several modifications in the back end to prevent direct skill manipulation. For example, potentially tanking your skill to play worse opponents or manipulate point gains in competitive. We also reworked the post-game scoreboards for all modes to show opponents defeated and combat efficiency, as we believe those stats are key to understanding how well you performed each match. So your player score will be 50, basically how well you did, how many opponents you defeated, how many objective final blows you got, and if you had, when you had zone advantage, you got it, and the zones you captured. We also added additional scoreboards for modes, including longest change, highest multi-kill medal, and longest streak. So your KDA, your combat efficiency, longest streak, if you went on like a 10-player kill streak, there you go, the amount of damage you dealt while on it, and the longest chain that you got. So if you had like a, you know, whatever. Okay, here you go. Good Lord, how much longer is this? Competitive changes. They're changing how points work. So, yeah, I want to read all that. They're bringing it back. Huh? Redrick's Exotalk? Okay, so it's another stasis weapon. Encore, Head Seeker. You can roll with Encore and Kill Clip? Sword Logic, wait. Huh? Okay. So, in Heresy, here's our new competitive weapon. It is our second ever PR55 frame. So, like the Battler, it's a stasis frame pulse. And you're telling me there's that Trials Solar Sniper? Hey, Bungie. Can we get a new weapon like this in Gambit, please? Encore Head Seeker or Encore Kill Clip. Hell, Encore Headstone. Or Zen Moment Head Seeker, Zen Moment Kill Clip, Zen Moment Headstone. Lone Wolf Head Seeker, Lone Wolf Kill Clip, Lone Wolf Headstone. Yes. Stocks. No, it must be a new one. The new emblem for Ascendant 3 will be raising the maximum rank cap to 1500, allow players at the max ranks to climb to a new Ascendant 0 division. Wins in this will earn point progress, same as the aesthetic rewards for trials, to earn the Darkest Night. The higher your rank, the more points you get for wins. Quality of life updates to competitive in the collision mode. New logic will prevent the next zone from spawning too near to the active zone. Contesting a zone will now flip it to a neutral, so neither team gains points, as opposed to the current behavior where a team that owns it can still accrue points while in its contested mode. New zones can show up 20 seconds before it opens instead of 15, to give players more time to move to a new area and contest the capture. The quick protection timer has been increased up to 90 seconds to make sure that if a player goes AFK at the beginning of the match and gets kicked, their team will still benefit from the loss forgiveness. Slow Capture Collision. We're introducing a new option called Slow Capture Collision, which is a debut in the Crucible Labs in Heresy Act 2, and will be live in the private matches starting in the beginning of Heresy. Slow Capture Collision is a twist on the existing collision game mode where the zones take much longer to capture, awards a single point, and then rotates locations. The first team to capture 7 zones wins. Let us know what you think. If players prefer it, we'll replace the existing version of Collision in competitive. So this is all about capture. So it's basically, it's slower to capture it. If you capture it, it gives you a single point, and then it goes. So it's like, kind of like getting captured the flag, and then having to return it. So, capture a point, get a point. Or instead, the current one sounds like hard point. Playlist reorganization. Over the last year or so, we've been experimenting with the various playlist configurations to offer as many experiences as possible with minimally splitting out the population. The solution that we settled on is to break our game modes into 3 different categories: core game modes, quick play rotators, and events. If you would like to refresh yourself on the various styles of matchmaking, please read this article. Our base Crucible offerings, most unchanged control, 6v6, outlier protection. Competitive 3v3, rank based. Rumble, free-for-all, open skill. Private matches. In terms of quick play, you will have Clash, Supremacy, Zone Control, Rift, and Relic. Small team quick play, which is small team 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4. Doubles Clash, elimination variants for 3v3. So elimination, dominion, countdown, and survival. Competitive respawn variants, 3v3 countdown rush, showdown, and 4v4 lockdown. Did I try lockdown? I don't think I did. Okay. Modified quick play, various team sizes, 3v3, 4v4, 6v6. Open skill. Exclusive. And these use connection-based matchmaking in the quick play rotators. So quick play, small team quick play, and modified quick play. Exclusive modes that where a sandbox has been altered in such a way that the standard Destiny gameplay is not possible. We understand that checkmating hardware have been popular with some parts of the community, so we've added an extra variant for each in the rotation to allow them to show up more often. Checkmate variants will have 6v6 control, 4v4 throwback, which survival, showdown, and countdown rush. Hardware variants will have 6v6 supremacy and 3v3 hardcore, which will be elimination, countdown, and dominion. And other modifiers, 6v6 momentum control, mayhem clash, or scorch clash. Events. Iron Banner control, outlier protection replaces control. Both Iron Banner playlists will be active these following dates: February 18th through the 27th, April 1st through April 8th, and April 29th through April 6th. So they're going back to having to the 25th, but this one's only a week. So it's going to be 1 week, and then a week. So they're going back to having 3 Iron Banners? As we've already been doing with Iron Banner Trials, events will now replace the most closely existing mode during the run. The biggest change for Hennessy is that Iron Banners will bring to being active for a single week at a time. We also introduced new Iron Banner Quick Play Rotator option that will appear alongside Iron Banner Control. The Crucible Labs will no longer be a standalone playlist. It will now appear in a weekly rotation of the corresponding Quick Play node that is most relevant. Okay, so Iron Banner will replace Control. Iron Banner Quick Play Rotator will replace Quick Play. Okay. Trials of Osiris will replace Small Team Quick Play. So this is what it looks like now. Or what it will look like. So you have Countdown, which is the 3v3. Competitive Control Supremacy. So the Quick Play, 6v6. No, 6v6, 6v6, 3v3 Quick Play, 3v3 Quick Play, Free for All. So there's going to be 2 3v3 and then 2 6v6. Okay. So, Momentum Control, 6v6. And Countdown 3v3 and then 3v3 Ranked. When Iron Banner is here, you'll have the 6v6 Control and then Eruption. So this will kind of be interesting. Replaces the Quick Play node, while also having Iron Banner Control just be the event one. Either replaces Quick Play, Small Team Quick Play, or modified depending on how the mode is being tested. In Heresy, we have 6 total match made active at any given moment. 4 of those will utilize Open Skill, which is connection-based matchmaking. 1 will be rank-based, and 1 will be Outlier Protection. New playlists. You probably noticed we have a handful of new playlists that are shown in the bolded list above, so let's break them down. Iron Banner Quick Play Rotator 6v6. Based on player feedback, we have broken Iron Banner into 2 playlists, each one replacing the existing node in the Crucible directory. Iron Banner Quick Play will be the new home for Eruption, Fortress, and Tribute, and eventually Rift when it returns. It will feature the Open Skill matchmaking utilized by our other Quick Play playlists instead of the Outlier Protection used for Control and Iron Banner Control. If you want to play some more of a party-oriented Iron Banner modes and take things less seriously, this is the place for you. All standard Iron Banner rewards can be earned in this playlist, just like in Iron Banner Control. 4v4 Lockdown. We have finally brought Lockdown back and reworked it to address previous issues the game mode faced. Who else remembers Endless Games on Endless Vale? Lockdown works like a round-based version of Zone Control, with a twist that capturing all 3 zones immediately wins the round for the team that can pull it off, regardless of the score at the time. High risk, high reward if you don't want to go for the power play. No problem. Hold 2 zones longer than your opponents and you can clear more points to win by score instead. Checkmate Throwback, a new place to focus on what we used to be and one day may be again. Still the same checkmate that you know and love, with a greatly penalized ability cooldown special meter, retuned closer to its OG values, and the modified weapon damage. But this time focus on small team combat, so it'll have survival, showdown, and countdown rush, and it'll be a 4v4. Hardware Hardcore. Hardware has been popular enough that we wanted to bring it back, but with a different experience. If you ever wonder what Trials would be like with no abilities, now's the time to see for yourself. Elimination, Dominion, and Countdown are on tap. No abilities, no respawns, no problem. You have to be revived. This is what you huh? Hmm? Okay. Oh. Wait, it's going there? What? I mean, this I don't care about adapter, but this peace bond's coming back. Let's go. I don't even think I have a peace bond anymore. Dude, okay. I do not have a peace bond. Oh, wait, I do. Awesome. So, Peace Bond is an adaptive burst stasis sidearm. It can have Rangefinder, Subsistence, Zen Moment, Headstone, Lone Wolf, Moving Target. I think the one I have has Perpetual Motion Headstone. This one instead have Headseeker, Desperado, Rhyme Stealer, Disparate Action. I'm sorry. Zen Moment Headseeker. Lone Wolf Headseeker, Moving Target Headseeker. On an adaptive burst sidearm. Thank you. Crucible. We'll be getting Joxer's Longsword, a Void Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle. That will have a whole slew of bloody perks. Holy crap. Look at all that. I think Enlightened Action, or I think, no, maybe Closing Time. Closing Time, Headseeker. As a heavy burst pulse rifle. Or like Zen Moment, Enlightened Action. There's so many things. Lobby balancing. To fall back to the average lobby rank balancer less often when dealing with fire teams. Map weighting. 6v6 modes reduce the vol stock and multiplex from the average rate to the below average rate, and increase burnout from the average rate to the above average rate so you can play on burnout more often. Competitive, remove Citadel Clash and Multiplex Clash from the rotation. They were previously at a rate, they've just been removed. Remove Radiant Cliffs from the Clash from rotation, which had an average rate, and increase the rate for Burnout Clash and Dead Cliffs Clash from the above to the high weight to compensate. Game mode rules. Showdown. Revives no longer subtract a point from the opposing team. We can't share a lot of details about what's happening in Codename Frontiers timeline, but we're working on several things that we're looking forward to in Crucible. One thing we can talk about is the special ammo meter, which will be making its return completely rebuilt with significantly more tuning levers and much less likelihood for causing local leg spikes or granting infinite ammo. Why is it taking so long, you ask? Mostly because the new ammo meter, which is tied to the largest game-wide rework of Destiny's ammo system that we've ever done. This has been a master collaboration with multiple teams, including the Crucible Strike Team, engineering, activities, armor, weapons, and UI and UX. The new system is shaping up, and we're excited to get back to the game once it's completed. We'll have more to share with you closer to that time, but for now, we'll see you in the Crucible. You're bringing back Peace Bond. Thank you. You're also giving me a Void Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle. Thank you. On top of the competitive Stasis Battler. Yeah. And then the Solar Sniper. That can roll with Snapshot Opening Shot. Y'all are trying to make me play Trials again, aren't you? And competitive. You're like, hey, we know Coyote kind of likes pulse rifles. So let's make a new stasis one for competitive. And we want to see sniper clips again. So let's add a solar sniper. That's an aggressive frame that has snapshot opening shot, because that's the thing that everyone loves. Snapshot opening shot. And then have it in PvE to get both triple tap and 4 times the charm. Damn. I mean, if you're a hand cannon person, I mean, I guess you like this coming back. I don't know. Okay. Or I can be a peace bond. Peace bond and a beloved user. But also getting this, and then having like one of the other snipers that's out there. But yeah, with that being said, this video is almost like an hour long, and that's how long this read has been. I haven't even played the game yet, and I'm younging. With that being said, Red Faction, I'll see you later. Purple Faction will be back in just a bit. So, see you soon.